Good afternoon. It is December 23rd, 2021, and today we are looking at just an uptrend day. The volume was extremely low, especially, I don't know, where did we open right here? So once we hit like 8 o'clock, yeah, right here, that's, volume was super low, so I think most people probably just made their money in here and just walked away for the day and packed it up for the year or just for the week until after Christmas. So I'll try and go quick. There's not much to see here. In the overnight we were in this tight range, broke out to the low side, popped up. So we make this leg up, and let's see if that's a measured move. And we make this leg. So, I mean, at this point near the open, the bias did look up. You get a first entry, potential second entry right here, but it didn't trigger. It goes, makes a second leg of correction down. This is like a double test right here of this range. So we bounce there, make a new high, and you do indeed get a second entry long off of this trend line, and that's right at the open. And that's another reason people probably walked away, is because a lot of people probably got in on this move right at the 700 mark and got a 14-point runner and just packed it up. So you get this spike in channel up, it breaks, we get this correction. You get a first entry, second entry off the EMA. You get a scalp out of that, make a new high, and this looks like a repeat of this right here. First entry, second entry long, or excuse me, it looks like a repeat of this. First entry, second entry long, first entry, second entry long. So, I mean, at this point it's kind of looking sideways. But these are both good entries. We get a break of this channel, but then we form this yellow channel, and you get a new high, first entry. So I guess I was looking at this as oh, okay, yeah, we got the second entry right here, but as you can see, that sets up below the EMA. So when we get this higher low here, and there's room to the highs, I like that. And then we come up here, and this kind of looks like a failed second entry short, first entry, second entry that fails, but this is an inside bar. But you can see it gaps up and closes on its high, and that's just something to think about. And it's off the trend, or it's near the trend channel and the EMA. So it's aggressive, but something you might consider. Unfortunately, I don't see any way to enter in this. Even this looks like a range, and we get the breakout, but we don't get a high or low. Here we get a break of this channel. Maybe you looked at this as a double top, first entry, second entry. I just don't see how you could look at this. It's a single test of this price level. So this is below the EMA. I don't think you can take that. But then it's clear that this is congestion, and we're going sideways. I don't see how you can enter in any of this. Unfortunately here, if we got a higher low right here, I would enter, but we didn't. And you get a first entry, failed second entry short. Usually, and the past couple of days I've been saying this, is when we are this far from the recent low, or at least what I've found, and this is just how I feel. When we're this far from the recent low, I typically like to wait for a second entry long instead of taking the failure. And here you can see we just had a break of this trend channel. So this is, I marked this blue, but it kind of does look a bit risky. Maybe I should change it to green. Only because if it was off the trend channel or the trend line, I would say definitely take this. Let's see if you mark it off these lows, that's actually probably more accurate. So I'm going to actually take that back to blue. Oh, whoops. So the reason I like this trade though is this failure here is because it's a breakout pullback. And we're in an uptrend. We've been trending up all morning. So this is a pretty consistent trend up. I think you can take that on these days, and I think on these days that's a blue trade. On a day where the trend isn't strong up, no, that's not a blue trade, but on a day like today, I think it is. And that's all I saw. I mean, I didn't mark anything after here because the volume was just so low. And you can see we probably come back. Okay, we test that midline and then it goes higher. So if you're looking at that, maybe you would take, and this is actually a second entry long right here. So I'm about to mark that as aggressive because at this point we're ranging, but the bias is up. So you might take that. And then we have this sell-off. I don't see, this is too far from the EMA. I'd probably take this second entry short right here. First entry, second entry short. Let's see if it even hit a scalper's profit. 16.25. So we're still waiting for this to fail to hit a scalper's profit. But you can see if you enter on this bar, you would have gotten stopped out. So I guess, I mean, this is the trend. The bias has been up all day, and you see these dojis down here, these dojis, these three bars are overlapping. Maybe that's a reason enough not to take the trade. Yeah, and it didn't even come back to the EMA, so that's something to think about. But anyway, that's what I saw for today. The trades I took were on the MES. I guess I'll take a look. Let me pause the video. So here are the two entries I took on the MES live. So I guess this one I looked at as whoops, hold up. This is the wrong chart. Hold on. I think I had by accident, I had the 2000 tick chart, but I've been using the 950 tick chart for MES. So now I remember this setup off of this range. We tested the range highs once here, twice, a third time, and a fourth time right here, and we had this first entry, second entry, and although the signal bar wasn't great, I did like this as an aggressive entry, and so I entered it, and I think this is an aggressive entry, and that's about it. Let's see how it's set up on the ES. Pretty similarly on the ES, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't crazy about it, but I was like, we got a quadruple test. This is also a second entry long. I think we can take this. And so that set up real well, or that worked real well, I should say. And then over here, we got a second entry long. So I entered on this second entry long, especially after this big leg up. I'm okay with that. I think that's fine trade to take. And you can see here, unlike the previous trade, we had an overshoot that led to a break. and we had an attempt to go lower. Whereas here, we didn't have that. But actually, you could look at it like this. And that's probably how you should look at it. As we had this leg down, we had a break, move to a new low, quadruple test, second entry long. Another thing I liked is that I measured this before I took the trade, and there was plenty of room to scalp out. 95, and yeah, so you have 7 ticks before the EMA, and so I like that. But yeah, so that's what I saw for today. Hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back next week.